Okay, welcome everyone. Um, Thank you for joining us on this day after Thanksgiving, day after Christmas. See, I am so not together here. I'm a little stressed about the microphone. I think I have it adjusted properly, so if I start fading in and out again, please let me know. There was some odd setting that I changed. Hopefully that fixes our problem. But welcome. Again, my name is Lisa. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am excited to be here with you today to share how to make a fun fold card. We're going to be doing a double Z fold today, and we're going to be playing with the same stamp set that we played with on last Monday, which is this Hearts of Elegance. It's actually part of a suite. We're working with the designer series paper, the stamp set, and the dies. Of course, all of these can be purchased in my online store, and I appreciate those of you who support me in this so that I can continue to do something that I absolutely love. As a thank you for that, you get a set of 6 tutorials and a little craft along with me kit if you use the hostess code provided at the top of my website when you do that. So, welcome everyone. I see some of our loyal followers are here today. I hope Carrie had a great Christmas in her new home. Um, it's fluctuating. Darn it. I don't know why it's doing that. I've changed a couple different things and I did the testing, and the testing came out okay. Um, what if I try this one? Does this make any difference? Again, just a setting on my computer, trying to figure out what works. I can turn off the echo cancellation. I wonder if that did anything. And there's an automatic adjustment to microphone volume. I can turn that off. Does that help any? I'm talking. You can't hear me at all? Did I turn something completely off? That wouldn't be good. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why it's doing that. I guess after this, I will try again to figure out why it's doing this. I apologize. I have tried several different things, but hopefully you can follow me enough to follow along with today's card. Um, I'm not sure what else to adjust. Okay, anyway, congratulations to our winners from Thursday the 19th. We have Melanie Foy, and she won our Gatefold Explosion thank you card, which is going to be this one right here. And then Angie Latham won our Valentine's Day card from last Thursday. So if you can do me a favor and go to the URL that's flashing across the top there, it's queenbeecreations.net/prize patrol. I'm going to try to point my head towards the microphone more. I think that might help. I don't know. Hopefully. But this is today's card. It's a Valentine's Day card in a double Z fold. That bothers me about the volume. I've rebooted, I've deleted and reinstalled the microphone. I've done so many different things. Ugh. Okay, this is the color combination we're going to be using. We're using Melon Mambo, Bubble Bath, and Old Olive. The Bubble Bath and Melon Mambo are pulled from the colors in the designer series paper. So you can see them featured back here. And that's one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! Is how everything color coordinates so beautifully. And that if you were to get a Melon Mambo ink designer series paper, cardstock, marker, Stampin' Blend, they're all going to be the same shade and they're very consistent. So if you run out of a color and you go to replace it 6 months from now, it's not going to be a different dye lot or something like that. It's all going to still match, which I absolutely love. Thank you to those who are liking and sharing the video. That is how you get entered into the drawing to possibly win today's card, because I always mail it out to someone who is watching. Turn the tickler off so that's not distracting anyone. And again, here are the dies, and I'm going to be using this one here. I just think it's so pretty, and that when it die cuts, it cuts the whole of the heart, but it also does all of that beautiful stitching on the inside as it does it. For our papers, we're going to need a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11. We're going to score that at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So I've basically scored it in half and then scored it in half again. And we're going to fold that one back on itself. So that's going to be our base. Then I have this piece here that is 3 inches by 9 inches, scored at 3 and 6, giving us 3 even panels of 3 inches each. So there's that one there, and that's what creates the double Z fold. It's going to have the 2 Z's adhered together. Then I have the designer series paper for the inside of our card. This is the marbled Elegance designer series paper, and we're going to fit this one back here. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then this one is 4 inches by 2 1/2. So each of these layers has just been reduced by 1/4 of an inch on length and width. Then I have this piece that is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and it's just going to fit right in here and give me a little teeny tiny border around the outside of that. And then I have a scrap of bubble bath that we're going to be cutting the heart from. I'm going to do that on the cut and emboss machine. Pick that up, it fell right out of there perfectly. When I did the one from the other day, I actually cut it out of a circle so that I can use this on another card. I used my stitched shapes or stylish shapes stitched circle, and then I just die cut the heart out of the middle, and I use the heart on the one card, and then I'm going to save this, and I'm going to put a sheet of acetate on the back, and then use our foam adhesive strips to put a line around here and then fill it with goodies, and I can make this into a shaker card. So I'm making the most of my cardstock and getting kind of a 2-for-1 deal out of that. Let's go ahead and adhere these. I really am trying to fix the volume. I apologize, it's doing that. I'm just putting this in here, trying to make sure that I am even all the way around on my borders as best as I can. And as you can see, this is just the other side of that same designer series paper. We're just going to be using the coordinating pattern, which is one of the things I love about our designer series paper, is that if you are playing within one bundle of designer series paper, they're all going to go together very well and complement one another. And of course, because it's the designer series paper that goes with this suite, the designer series paper also coordinates with the stamps and the dies that go with it. So in that thought, we're going to take our little flower stamp and the leaves, and you can see that this flower is the same flower that's used in here. If I wanted to do that to where I got kind of this kind of opaque look, one of the things I could do is I could take a baby wipe or a paper towel or something and use a little bit of Clorox bleach on it and then ink up the stamp with the bleach and then go onto my cardstock, and it will actually remove color, giving me kind of an opaque white out of this. But I'm going to go ahead and do a tone on tone. So I'm going to be using Melon Mambo ink on Melon Mambo cardstock. I see a little something stuck on my stamp. A little piece of an eraser or something, just enough that's going to bother me. It might be time for me to take a lint roller, you know, those ones that are kind of tacky tape on one side, and roll it over the top of my ink pad. I can see little bits of something that got caught up on there, probably eraser bits, and running a lint roller over the top will take those off. So if you ever are working with embossing powder or our gold flake or something that you might end up getting all over your ink pad, go ahead and grab a lint roller and that will help you clean that up. I'm just going to go around here and fairly randomly stamp some of the flowers in Melon Mambo. Use a Simply Chamois and clean that off. And then I'm going to use this one for the leaves. And I don't know how long you have been following me, but if you've been following me for a while, then you may have a little goodie that I used when I made my sample card that I wanted to remind you about, because sometimes we forget we have certain things in our craft room and maybe when we want to bring them back out again. And it's something Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry anymore, but it is this stamp cleaning pad. And when I bought mine, I bought the refill, which I always encourage you guys to do. And then after I've cleaned it with my regular wipe, I go ahead and I clean it on this. And then I'm going to clean it off with water once again. And I'll probably even take it to the sink and run it under some regular water. But you can see how much of that red it took out of there for me. So don't forget you have one of those if you do. We don't sell them anymore, but if you have one, use it. Where do I want to put this? Come this way. Okay, so I was just creating a random pattern around the outside edge. I don't need to worry about the middle because I'm going to adhere my heart right over that. Again, I'm going to clean this off. See how it's kind of red. Bring it to my stamp cleaner. Rub it on that thing, and it took quite a bit of that off. And just remember, run them over to the sink when you're done. I will do that when I stop the camera. Oh, we have some more stamping to do. We're going to go ahead and stamp on the inside of our card. That's going to be this piece right here. And I'm going to start out with the Happy Valentine's Day. Now, again, normally we just pick up and we stamp right here in the middle, but by looking at it, I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell by looking at an angle that it's got a little less ink in the middle than it happens to have on the outside edges. And so I think what I would do is then start just pushing on the outside edges, trying to push that ink back down into the middle. So every once in a while, kind of move your stamp around the stamp pad so that you are evenly distributing that ink and getting the best coverage that you can. Hi, Melanie. Good thing you caught us because you were our winner from one of our last lives. So you will see on the tickler at the very beginning, and I'll show it again at the end, that you need to go to my website and claim your prize for being one of our winners. Congratulations. Okay, so now that I've done that in Melon Mambo, I'm going to come back in with Bubble Bath, and I'm going to stamp my flowers in that. Again, I'm going to kind of go around the edges of my ink pad. Okay, then I'm going to use Old Olive for our leaves. And I'm just going to add a few more. Just for some added color. Okay, then we can go ahead and we can add this to the front of our card. And you could choose to pop this up on dimensionals if you wish. Ooh, and I can see I didn't let the ink dry, or it didn't dry on my table right away. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a mono eraser. This is a sand eraser that I get from Amazon, and you can find that on my affiliate links on my website if you went to my Amazon store. But it allows me to just rub a little bit on where that green ink picked up, and it'll take that right off of there. Ooh, and I stuck it upside down. Of course I did. Everybody says I remain calm when technology weirds me out, but really I'm not very calm. That's why I'm making mistakes. Okay. If you are wondering about where to find all these little things, my mini magnets and my stamping plate and a bunch of things that I use in here that are non-Stampin' Up! Related, I'll put the link down in the comments. And that's where you can find a lot of it. I also want to mention right now that Stampin' Up! Or Stampin' Storage actually is doing a sale on their cabinets. So if you are a fan of Stampin' Storage, or you've always wanted one of their paper holders or something, they are now 30% off. And there's also a link for that on my website. to go check that out. And that's only happening till the end of the year. So you want to jump on that one. Okay. I am going to place this right here in the center, and I'm as best as I can estimate. I'm going to, and I could use my grid paper. That's kind of why I lined it up on here, that I could figure out where my middle is. Actually, it's up here. You can't quite see. But if I lay this in here and I put it at 2 3/4 either way, then my 0 is going to be in the middle. I could measure to my 1.5 inch mark there. But I can use my ruler on my paper to help me line it all up and where it's going to go. But basically, we're just going to center in that area. Okay, then I'm going to open this up, and we're going to put some adhesive here. And then I'm going to close this, and you'll see how this is going to fold over. And it's going to go about to the middle of my heart, so I know I can come over a little more. I'm adding more adhesive than I usually do because this will get some movement. That's going to go ahead and make our double Z fold. Okay, and as I said, that was done using our Marbled Elegance suite, which includes the Hearts of Elegance bundle that is an online exclusive item that is not featured in a catalog. So this would be great for just an I love you kind of card, Valentine's Day, anniversaries, weddings, just anybody who loves flowers and hearts. It can be used for a lot of great things. As I said, we used this last time for this one here on Monday, and I'm sure we'll be using it again. So as I said, you can purchase this in my online store and get crafting yourself. Does anyone have any questions? Melanie's asking about the little flaky bits that show up on the Blackberry Bliss. And what that actually is crystallization from the ink. And it happens with a lot of our reds. I don't think mine has it right now. It has little teeny bits, but it'll start like crystallizing up out of there. And again, the what I usually do if it's bad, I will take the edge of a butter knife and just gently scrape it across. I don't want to rub it so hard that it's going to tear the foam, but if you just gently rub it across with that edge of the butter knife, that will take some of it off. I want to say it's not a serrated edge, but it's got those little cuts in the edge of the butter knife. That will help get that off of there. And then you wanted to run over it with a little bit of a paper towel or maybe even the lint roller to pick up some excess that's left over. It doesn't harm the pad at all. It makes it kind of ugly, but it does still work. And that's a great way to get rid of those crystals. So thank you for the question. I appreciate that. Did I stay kind of in and out through the whole video? Or did it stabilize after a while? I'm afraid to ask. I will continue to play around with the audio and try to get that fixed. So, Kat says hers was stable. Thank you, God. Okay, I'm excited that you're here. I can't wait for you to come back, and I will see you next Monday, the 30th, for another Facebook and YouTube Live doing another fun fold card. Thank you so much. Oh, happy birthday, Melanie. That's awesome. See you on Monday. Bye.